Yeah. Okay. So the topic that we have taken, what COVID-19 has given us, right? How we feel about that. So yeah, Kajol, go ahead.
So I think if you talk about that, what COVID 19 had, like what did you learn during your
Mhm.
lockdown or during COVID 19? So I must say that every people have the different different learning. So they must learn different kind of things. For me, it is different because during the lockdown, before lockdown, I must say actually I had already mentioned this that before lockdown I got I have feared to live alone at that time. So I think the most important thing I have learned that to live alone and to not during lockdown most of the people got scared and most of the people run away to their city. So at that time I have made a decision that I will not go anywhere, and there was no one with me. So at that time I was all alone. So it was for me, it was a tough time because at that time most of the people got frightened because of COVID, because that was a very very like uh, new thing for all of us. So at that time I come I have worked on myself, and I don't I overcome from all those fears. So that is the best part I had learned. And the second thing, during the lockdown I was alone. So I have a lot of time to spend with myself. So that is all those, that is also the beautiful part. And at that time I take the decision that I want to improve my communication like
Yeah.
English. So at that time I started using Buddy Talk. So I had work on it, and I think no doubt I had improved very much, because during first day and if I compare it with now, so there's a very huge change, I must say. So it is very helpful for me also. And during lockdown I started learning coding. I started learning website designing. So there's a lots of things I had learned. Like if I talk about the technical part, so I had learned like the coding, the website designing. So that was the best part. And during lockdown I had work on myself also. Like I also focus on my health during the lockdown. So I used to do the skipping. So there's a changes in my body also. So that is the thing. And if you talk about that what COVID-19 given us, so I think the best thing the COVID-19 had given us the time, with yourself. And that is the most precious thing, everyone wanted to have. Because before lockdown we all are busy in somewhere something, like we all are busy with our phone and many things. But during lockdown we have the precious thing is time, that everything is just stop, and you have the time to find out what's your biggest potential, what's your potential. So
Yeah.
at that time you can lots of things. So yeah, I have done some small things which I had learned, I must say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I will more points later. So yeah, just let me.
Yeah, okay. I totally agree with your all points, and the specific thing that definitely we have learned a lot in this lockdown, in this COVID-19 era. And you also talked about the potential part. So definitely, even in my case, just before the lockdown, there was only one option that the government option, that we can go for government job like that. But in this whole lockdown, I have learned that there are so many tremendous options that we can opt for. Right, we can go for that. And you all guys know the reason, just because in lockdown we were all running here where and there, we were trying to learn something new all the time. So at least with the help of that, definitely we learned a lot, a specific part of the communication part. But apart from that, we have also started believing in ourselves that we can also do something better, right? And we are still doing it, we are
Exactly.
still working on that. So I think that is the best part. I mean, that is a very good part in terms of me, and it taught me so many things. Still, I'm learning, right? It's given so many options, right? That we can do this thing, we can do that thing, and it also opens so many opportunities. Uh, I'm definitely, no one need to take often from my point just because I'm talking about my personal thing, right? It's given me a lot more things, and I have never felt anything that there was such kind of a lockdown, just because I had a lot of time and I spent according to my own uh, need, right? If I wanted to read something, read that. If I wanted to improve my communication skill, I did that also. And if I just want to sit simply, so I experienced so many things, and I also tried so many things, and it worked. So many things worked. And just because in lockdown we were alone, so it also given us the importance of the people who were out there, our friends, and so many things are we have learned a lot, that which people are, we have to live with which kind of people. And also it has given a lot of time to live with our family. And we have lived so many I think almost all of us have lived with our family, whether it's a 3 month, 4 month, or 6 months. So it has given a lot of time, the best part that we can say. At the same time, there were also so many people who wasted their every single time, in Netflix and in Amazon, in so many things out there. We also wasted. But I think a person who used uh, their times, it's okay to watch something, it's okay to watch something on Netflix, or just play some games. But along with that, just because after even that we had a lot of time, right? And now lockdown is over, but again COVID is coming. So let's see what will happen. The same situation might not be happen again, but we can't do anything about that. The only thing we can do, we can work on our skills, we can work on ourselves, right? Whether we are at home or whether we are at workplace, just because that will be something with you, for longer period. I mean, no matter it's a kind of game you are playing, or Netflix, or maybe person, whoever they are. But if we are putting our hours in something, that is something that will be with you for longer period. It's even after COVID-19 or in the time of the COVID-19. So at the last, just one thing I want to say: if we have a time, so definitely we have to use it to increase our strength, to increase our capacity to learn new things. So many things are out there. And we know there are also distractions, but we can't do anything about that. We had only one option, that we have to learn. So it's given a lot of time to increase our capacity to learn something new, and to emerge as a new person, right? And it definitely taught me a lot, uh, in case of me. So this is all for now. Yeah, Amit.
I agree with you. All are mentioning good point. And yeah, as COVID changed our life, as we all know. Because first, if you talk about, if I would to talk, first for the country perspective, what happened? What have happened? Like we some, due to this pandemic, we are now we are just like one is positive and one is negative impression in we are getting in our life. If we
Hmm.
look as a if we look as a negative, so we there are lots of things we lose our most of the things, if we all of the world is all the world's facing this issue. And when was the declared by the WHO, I think uh, 3rd of 2 March, or maybe 2020, it was declared. Then really it is a pandemic. So that day and nowadays, if we compare, so for positive perspective, we look our environmental society, decreases the pollution, all the pollution like water, air. We all see, after before that, the population increasing day by day, but now it is controllable, I think, because the reason is COVID. Also, if we talk about like for negativity, what happened for us, like employment. As first, if you talk about the employment ratio, that is really decreasing because of the COVID. And also the Indian economy or GDP is decreasing. So it is happening to have all the people, not for the just once means one country or one people. We are all we all have faced that problem in our past. And now also the same situation, as like Dhruv says, just so if we look as a my life, how my life is changed, as you mentioned, you all are your all past experience. So yeah, what I did in my past. So also I complete the some web series and
Mhm.
Netflix video. So that was the time, that nothing is there in front of me. Like, yeah, I have a lot of time. So study is as good, but I have a lot of time. So I just download Amazon Prime and yeah, whole the time spend to watch the movie. But yeah, I learn something also new. I was and also I did not join this paradigmatic learners because of some issues or maybe, but now uh, that will, this most of the things in our past we had learned because of we have lot of time. So also in education or health, we are, yeah, one more point I'm sharing to you. uh, Nowadays what is actually happening, if you have in present situation, if you
Mhm.
don't have near to you nothing you have, but yeah, you have to be mask and sanitize, because that is good for the health, and that is good for the uh, all the condition, because we are aware from that. We should to take as our safety. uh, we know all things, but yeah, covid learns, covid gives as a learn skill to you should to take the mask and sanitizer with us, because mm, uh, so yeah, so mm, if nearby you all have, I think, mask and sanitizer
Yeah.
all. So that is really good. And also, yeah, we all are actually just the people enjoyment. I think the enjoyment is the most part in our life. So we all are uh, lose our enjoyment because of also just yesterday's that Holi is there. So I think we are not celebrate uh, uh, our Holi as like before, because due to pandemic also. So that is really some positive and negative impact in our life. So yeah, you all mm, or more thing, yeah, I will next add you.
Yeah. Okay. Monty?
Yeah, good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
So I would like to share about the COVID period, like the impact of COVID-19 about our lives. So the impact is very much, even also like Drew and every one of you had mentioned about their experience. So even I wanna share my experience also, like everything. If I talk about the country or the situation that like the COVID-19 lockdown has been imposed on 23rd of March, and a lot of things were gonna be happened. Like 2020 is like the different year from the rest of the years. They have the COVID-19, we have the COVID-19, and not only COVID-19, lot of things gonna be happen around the world, like the Amazon fire and these all the things, all kind of stuffs had happened, and even the we have a very large impact on the economy also. We have the very large impact on our economy. And even what I had done in the COVID-19 is that first of all that I learn a new activity, like indulge in myself, that reading of books. I never read books, but I don't know how, but it happens that it happens that I had read a lot of books, like around 10 to 15 books I had read in the lockdown. And even one more thing is that I learned the typing, and as well as mm, the football dribbling. These are the things that I had learned. Even I worked on the personality, but I couldn't say that I change a lot, and even I can't say that I have improved a lot. But although I wasted a lot of time in the lockdown, but I have to improve a lot now also, because in lockdown period we get the time, like whatever you wanna do, you can do. but you get the like specific period of time that which things you want to do in your life. And even like some persons don't have the goal, so they can set up their goals and objectives so that whatever they want to do in their life they can do. And the more impact about my life that I'm just miss my the hostel life as well as the I'm in third year. I want to just go to the Delhi for the RDC camp because in my NCC we have that certain camps, but the government couldn't make it like they don't able to create them, and they don't able to set up the camps in this COVID period. I know that the camp period is very interesting, and but they like it is there. We know that the corona is very hard situation in which these small things couldn't happen. Even we are not able to get out from homes and houses. So these all gonna things will have a like different impact on our lives. But yes, I can say that we learn a lot of things from this period. We learn that who is our friend and who is our not friend, who is our true friend. These things we can learn from this period, I can say. And even more things what we can get is that we get the situation that how like how to live in a room, how to live in a house for about 1 month. Because whenever I think now that the animals that can they stay forever in the juice, so it is a life similar to that, not similar, but I can say that like also how they can stay their whole life in the small cages. So it is a kind of reflection that I get from these things, that yeah, now we have to go outside and lot of things that we want to do in our life. So that is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that